Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. It is Monday, November 17th. We are back at the bins. Quick shout out to all you leaving comments. I've been so busy behind the scenes, I haven't been able to get in to respond. I'm going to start responding in the next day or two, try to get caught up. I appreciate each and every one of you that chimes in, has something to offer. Keep the comments coming. We're headed to the bins because the retail stores continue to, I guess, change their business model slowly but surely. So a lot less to find in the retail thrift stores. So we're headed to the outlet where we are buying by the pound. Now this White Knight lab coat, it's flame resistant. I mean, maybe 5 or so have sold in the last year and a half. I probably will be sitting on it for a while. Surprisingly light though. Could you imagine being in a lab that actually caught fire? That would be insane. So I'll end up listing that for $25, $30. I'll sit on it for a while. It is what it is. Again, super, super light. These are even lighter, but I love these. They're like a 2T toddler starter track pant. Ohio State. I mean, how fun is this? Like 100% nylon, really light and incredibly cute. There's nothing like it that I could see listed on eBay, so I thought that was a fun find. 2 items again, though. Is there a whole lot of demand for these items? I'm not really sure, but right off the bat, I'll take a chance on them and we'll see what happens. It's not going to cost me a ton. I'm going to leave this Nicole Miller behind. Do you think that was the right decision? 100% ply cashmere. I'm going to tell you, there's a thermal style that Nicole Miller makes that would sell like for around $25, $30. That's cashmere. That has cashmere in it. I don't know if it's a blend or if it's 100%, but that one felt hard to the touch. You know, like almost when somebody washes cashmere, it has that feel to it where it's just a little bit harder. It's not as giving. I know some of you know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to leave that behind. I don't really think of Nicole Miller as a brand that's good for resale. Like maybe there's a couple of pieces here and there that we should be looking out for. I haven't done the research on it, but I'm leaving that behind. I'm going to trust my gut and say that someone threw that in the wash and basically damaged or destroyed it, even if it had any value to begin with, which I don't think it does. So we'll keep moving. Lots of generic tags here. There's actually a nice shirt coming up. You see this one? If it hadn't been stained around the collar, it's an Eileen Fisher, another light piece, and yeah, XL. I don't know what the exact fabric was. I didn't see that, but too much discoloration around the neck. I'm not going to be the one to clean that. I'm leaving that behind. And the next find is way better anyway. So look at this. It's like 100% authentic Burberry. I'm looking for a fabric tag. You can see the embroidery on the back. It's 100% authentic, but normally there's some type of a fabric tag, and I don't see it anywhere. Throughout doing my research, I've realized that this is most likely wool. It's very light. It's a woman size small V-neck, and it does have like the Nova check in a dark pattern, like really thin across the V on the neck. It's a nice piece. So I'm going to grab that and I'm going to list that for $50. We'll see what happens. Burberry long sleeve V-necks. How huge of a market is there for that on eBay? It's sort of hard to tell, but when you have a quality piece that has no damage to it, it's in great condition, and it's authentic like that, I'm not afraid to shoot for the stars. So we're going to go high. I'm going to leave that. It was a Seville Row. Is that what that was? That leather jacket. I don't know if that's something to pay attention to. You know, a lot of that Y2K 90 stuff does come back, so maybe there's a market for that if it's from that era. I'm leaving it. Too heavy for me. Don't like the brand. The Hello Kitty thing here, I'm having FOMO now. This thing was really cute. The problem that I don't think we notice readily when you're watching me as I film on my iPhone with that item is the fact that there was so much pilling. I just don't want to spend a ton of time, you know, cleaning. And I know there's like devices that will help you get rid of the pilling. I'm not in the business of cleaning items. You know, every item needs to be touched up. That's not the business I'm in. I want it to come in a better condition in most cases, and I want to get it listed and get it sold. This piece was Michael Kors, the hoodie. That almost looks like it's like either waffle or thermal, but when I ran the comps weren't good. The sold comparables didn't look good, so I just have to leave that behind as well. I know it sounds like maybe I'm being more picky than I normally am at the bins, but I think that's the wise decision, even if you're paying by the pound and all this stuff comes cheap. Chaps, I'm leaving that behind as well. If it was Polo Ralph Lauren, it'd be a different story, the cowl neck type thing, or maybe that was a shawl neck instead of a cowl neck. But I don't think there's any value on the Chaps brand. I moved over to hats. They did 2 hat rotations this day, so that was pretty exciting. So I was there to catch both of them. I thought about this Adidas, but when I saw the QR code looking thing, I determined that it wasn't vintage, so I don't really have a use for it. I'm going to take the Irish hat, though. This is the Game. That's the brand. The style of hat is called the split bar hat. And the only thing I don't love about it is it's fitted. It's a size 7 1/8, so it'll probably take me a little bit longer to sell. I'm going to grab that. It's brand new with tags. Cleans up well. We'll list it for, let's say, $30 to $40 since it's brand new. And then another hat I thought about for a quick second, but there are like 10 or 12 of these UFC corduroy hats with the like vodka collaboration on the front. None of them have sold in the last 90 days. So of those 3, I'm only going to take the split bar. I did see one of these ghost supplement bags that I think came from the Arnold Classic or the Arnold Sports Festival here in Columbus, Ohio, sell for $15 or so. Again, that's going to cost me next to nothing. Where there's one buyer for that, there's probably another one. So I did pick that one up and I listed that for $15 as well. So let's grab that Irish hat. Good find. Again, super, cleaned it up. It definitely brand new with the tags. $40, I think it'd be fair on that. And we're going to have to dig to get to the rest of it. The bags and the hats and the belts, I don't know what it's like at your Goodwill outlets or your bins, but it is super competitive, and not in a nasty way competitive in most cases here in Columbus, but it's just, if you're not in the right place at the right time, stuff disappears fast. And you can still go in after the fact and find some great stuff. I do that often, right? When I walk in, I always check the stuff that's just been sitting there from the night before, and I usually, find 1 or 2 things that work. So Irish hat, let's take it. Go supplement bag, let's go with it. And then let's see if we can't get to the bottom of the rest of this stuff. I'm checking all of these hats. Key West, that looks like a souvenir hat. I can't really use that. Another one there, Miami. What else do we have? This Sheets hat, I don't know, it's kind of cool, but that doesn't even look branded. I mean, the Auto Collection, maybe that is a branded Sheets hat, but left that behind. Cody, I looked up this brand. See this Cody luggage bag? $10, $15 if I'm lucky. Gonna leave that behind. Too heavy, not a strong enough brand for resale, so we're gonna pass on that. I see a lot of drawstring bags, and then of course like the damaged purses and whatnot. Scooby-Doo, this might have been vintage. It could have been something to consider, but I'm gonna trust my gut and leave it behind. I'm gonna grab this Bread and Butter LL Bean though. This is a full zip. It is slightly fitted. They call this a sweater in their branding. So, fleece zip sweater. It's a men's XL dark gray, and I'll list that for $30. That's a pretty consistent one here. This is the one I like more than the LL Bean though. These soccer jerseys, there was a time where the stores were pumping these out, and so I was grabbing a bunch of them. Nike, Dry Fit, Manchester United. I think the years for this home jersey are like 2011, 2012 or so. It's definitely authentic, and I'm going to list this between $30 and $35. It is a men's small, but it is in like new condition. It looks like it was almost never worn. So that is another decent pickup here. So both of those, the LL Bean's going to be more bread and butter more so than the Nike jersey. I expect to sell the Nike jersey probably within a couple of weeks, or at least I'll start getting offers at that time too, and I'm listing it on the middle to higher end for those jerseys. But another decent find and super light, right? I mean, that's what it's all about at the outlet. All right, so let's keep getting low. And of course, as always, if you see something or there is a brand that I pick up or I miss, I don't catch, and you think it has value, or you sold it in the past, or you have some knowledge of it that you would like to share, please leave a comment. Everybody is here to learn, including myself. And I, again, appreciate each and every one of your comments and your concerns with us going back and forth to the hospital and being back in recovery and all of those things. So yeah, just been busy behind the scenes. So we're doing what we can, and we're getting some shopping in. So that's fun. Ruffle butts, is that a thing? Really cute. I didn't bother looking it up. If it's something, let me know. Forever 21, a brand I almost never pick up. That was a cute penguin shirt, or sweater rather. I'm going to grab these. These are Andrew corduroy pants, Polo Ralph Lauren. I think this size was like 30, 34, 36, 32, 34. It's going to be silver. I don't remember exactly. But these are super clean. And this is a reliable seller. So a reliable brand, corduroy pant. I've been very vocal about how I'm not picking jeans up anymore because they drive me nuts. I just have to accept the fact that I'm not good at it. This is a good cashmere, but it has holes. You'll see it in a second. But the corduroy pants, Polo Ralph Lauren, lots of sold comparables to go on. I'm going to grab those. They're a good size. They'll photograph well. And then I expect to not be sitting on them forever like I do with all of my blue jeans. So yeah, I'm just bad at it. It is what it is, right? Everybody has their strengths, and I'm not going to even make an attempt to get better at it. So I just know myself at this point. So we'll grab the corduroys and we will move on. How cool is this thing here, right? Take a look at this. It's like a full length like shirt dress. I don't know what you call this. Creepsville 666 is the brand. Women's size medium. Fuzzies everywhere, so we had to clean it up a little bit, but easy to photograph, very light. I have this listed in the $30 to $35 range with some good sold comparables to go on. I know we just came out of Halloween, but I think that's one of those things that will sell year round. We don't have to wait for the year to or for the October month to approach before we start selling those items. So I'm grabbing those. And then we got a nice pair of like linen-ish Lulu pants. They're 70 cotton, 30 linen. Those are brand new with tags. Check those out. I haven't figured out what I'm going to price those at, but I'm going to grab those as well too. New with tags, on the lighter side, a brand that I'm not 100% familiar with, but so we have two pairs of pants, which is kind of strange, but yeah, I'm going to take them. What else we have here? It's a lot of the same old story. Gap, Old Navy, Fashion Nova, Shine. You guys know the drill. We have, that looks like a prep school polo shirt, Pacific & Co. I don't know, this was like one of those big Hawaiian shirts. I left it, didn't mess with it. Chevy Silverado hoodie. I think this had some type of damage that I noticed after the fact. I set it to the side. That's not it, but I didn't think it was anything at first glance, and then the damage forced me over the edge. That's a coat that's got no value. I saw very few coats like outerwear weather. These were very like summery rotations, lots of shorts, people getting rid of their summer outfits and whatnot. So we had to deal with that. But this one is an absolute home run. You guys, Montclair, if I'm pronouncing it correct, this is a 100% virgin wool cable knit beanie. Brand new on their website right now. These retail for $500. Is that nuts or what? Like, who donates those things? First of all, I'm not in the category where I can afford to buy something like that as an accessory to my head, but man, what a fantastic donation. Maybe it was like lost in the middle of all of the other junk that they donated. So this is the second shoe, bag, hat rotation that came out. I'm going to list that hat in the $200 range, like $150 to $200. And look at this, a Burberry Goddess like woven tote bag. I'm going to end up listing this. This looks absolutely brand new. There's a tag on the inside to verify that it is 100% authentic, just like the Montclair hat. I'll end up listing that for $40. That's why I love the totes. And I'm kind of, if once these bins hit and everybody attacks them, like all the purses and the wallets, they're gone in 10 seconds. So you have to kind of think outside the box, grab some things that people don't normally gravitate to, and you do kind of well. I put this hat down, this Rutgers hat, I think when I grabbed it initially, and then decided, you know what, I'm going to take it and I'm going to list it for 25 bucks. It's brand new with tags, super light. I have a Rutgers hat, I think, listed that's brand new right now. So let's go, Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Shout yourself out in the comments if you went to that school. What's going on, Rutgers people? But I like that hat. It's in good shape, $25. But that beanie, what a score, right? Amazing find. So that absolutely saved the day. It was a clean looking Adidas hat, and then the inside's got makeup all over it. Can't really use that, so we are passing on that one. And then the shoes came out. So I have a very clean pair of Rincon 3 Hokas. Insoles are in excellent shape. The soles look fantastic. They're a size 12.5. I don't love this size as much as I used to. It definitely will sell, but I feel like it takes a little bit longer than the regular 12s and the regular 13s. I'm sure people that list 12.5s are, they appreciate you offering those sizes. But as far as that Rincon goes in the 12.5, I'm going to say $60, $70. And then this is a Speed Cross 5 by Solomon. They need to be washed, obviously. But again, insole's clean. Soles look fantastic. Women's size 7. And I think I'm going to shoot for between 40 and 50 for those as well. So 60 to 70 based on the condition for the Hokas, 50 for the Speed Cross, and then 327. This is actually a collab shoe. It's New Balance and Calia. Calia is Carrie Underwood's brand. It's an older collaboration. It's over a year old at least. So I don't know if that really makes a difference price-wise. I think, using the style code as one of my keywords, I see one that sold at auction for $20. That's probably too low. I'm going to probably more likely land in the $40 range for that shoe unless I back that keyword out and search more from a more broad spectrum. But 327s are like the hottest New Balance selling right now. So I say $40 at a minimum. And if that changes when I do my research at my desktop, then so be it. But 3 amazing pairs of shoes. Shoes always get competitive here. This is like the tail end of the rotation, so there's not a lot here going on. There are some good shoes that I really couldn't make a decision on, like these Sorels. I did end up, you can see just one of them. There is a pair here. I left them behind because I thought they were just a little bit too unique and they had a little bit too much wear on the front. There's a Solo UGG that could have been nice. It's always the same thing when you're at the bins, right? You're just forever looking for that second shoe. But I left the Sorels and let someone else deal with those. The Adidas, I think those are Adidas Parleys. Those were too damaged to bother with. The Innovate flat shoe, I couldn't really find the other one there as well. I did find a pair of Vibrams. I don't know if I got it on camera, but the Vibram 5 fingers, one of them had a hole in the top of one of the toes, so I left those. They're floating around here somewhere. But I'm super satisfied with the 3 shoes that I have. So this pair of Hokas there, they have a hole in it and no insoles. That's going to be a no-go. But yeah, those pairs turned out really well. So I'm just double checking now that we get a second glance, but nothing else to go for. All right, Polo Sport. This is a very light vest. I wasn't convinced at first glance that this was even authentic, but you can see the RL for Ralph Lauren, and there were some other indicators that convinced me that this was in fact real and not a fake. Polo Sport. If this camo was green, it would be like $70 up pre-owned. I think I'm going to shoot for 40 or 50 on the white camo. And the next thing that I'm going to pick up here is this Florence and the Machine sweatshirt. They are an indie pop band from London. Florin Welch is the lead singer. Last one of these sold for $45. I did see one that sold for $35, so I'll land somewhere in there. $35, $45. I didn't quite catch what size I had, but that'll sell in a decent amount of time too. So that was a fun pickup there. And I grabbed these, this is like first of all, I thought they were wide leg denim jeans. It's just a denim skirt. See this piece right here? The tag was generic and I didn't know what to do with them. I was like, you know what? These could be, at first glance, since I didn't see the tag, maybe I got lucky and I found some Jinkos or something like that. But let me show you this tag. It's kind of generic and I left it. Maybe that's a mistake or not, but I couldn't really discern what was going on with this tag or not. It's just a really interesting piece of denim, like this big denim skirt. I don't know. I left it. I didn't know what to do with it. And I am going to grab this. Is this Paris Atelier? If I'm pronouncing it incorrect, forgive me. It's a jumpsuit. It was kind of cool. It's got a little bit of dust and dirt, but very clean under the circumstances. See that tag? When I was looking up the comparables on eBay, the prices weren't really that great. And then I was looking on Poshmark a little bit. Poshmark looks a little bit better. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get lucky and list it at $40 or $50. But if I was going by eBay solds, I wouldn't really be selling it for that price. So I'm not really sure. I don't cross list. Maybe that's one of the items that I should just put on Poshmark, because I do from time to time put items on Poshmark. It's just so few and far between. But that's it. That's all I've got today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please hit that button for me. And that is all she wrote. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. And like I said, I'll get back into those comments just as soon as I can. Thanks for your patience, and we will see you in the next one.